Hello, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of the Opossum Speaks. That's right. It is the podcast where I talk about jack fucking shit and have jack fucking guests. Yeah. The thing is, Season 1, Episode 1 implies that I'll do more than one season, and I'm really not sure. Maybe they'll just make one episode, maybe I'll make 10, maybe I'll make 20. Yeah. Well, I think I'll get right into it now. I was hoping about talking about some weird things that I generally dislike, such as, so there is this one kind old chap in my math class. I will not disclose his name, but he is kind, and he is in fact a chap, and he is in my math class. But I don't really mind him, actually. He's a decent guy, and I talk to him sometimes, and he's alright. I mean, I sit to like the left of him, and there's another real cool homie to the right of me in math. But the thing about this man is that he wears his mask below his nose, and he chews gum loud enough for me to hear it, but not loud enough for anyone else to hear it. Now, the problem with this is that, well, it's not a problem for him. It's mostly just a problem for me, because as a self-image, I'm like, man, well, this man is chewing his gum, so it's like annoyingly loudly for me, but no one else is going to notice it, so it's not like I can point it out to him, because then he'll be like, well, man, no one else is going to hear it, but to him it's just him, but to me it's just me, and it's just the worst thing ever. And I don't know, the things like that are things that I can talk about here or on other such places, but I would never think of telling him in real life, because that's just disrespectful, and I wouldn't, go up to someone in their face and say, hey, could you quiet down that gum chewing? Or, hey, could you perhaps chew gum in the opposite direction? Because, I myself have chewed gum one or two times in class, and I didn't hate it, and I don't think, no one heard it. I mean, there's probably some people who heard it. On that subject, I mentioned to you, or to really anyone, no, I haven't, about how much I strongly dislike people who wear their masks below their nose. The point of the mask is to restrict airflow, and it kind of sucks that it does, because no one really likes, breathing through a fucking sweater, but the people who, I do that. I don't know if they don't care enough to wear it above their nose, but I think the thing is, it's not like they're a purposeful anti-masker. They're like, well, I don't know, man, I'd rather breathe than not, and I don't blame them for that. But if everyone else is suffering, and they're having it over their nose or under their nose, then they're the ones benefiting from it. And I don't know, man, that seems kinda, I don't know. I mean, if everyone's wearing it under the nose, then that's a different story. But there's only like a select number of white boys whose names start with the letter M, probably, because that's what they look like. Like, they all just start with the letter M, like Mac and Mark and things like that. Also, so this is a little bit less on topic, but I have, this was actually a while ago, I think last weekend, or maybe the weekend before, I saw a article that was in a newspaper, that was, I know I'm really, really specific, but it was an article in a newspaper that was, I think, called something about The Simpsons Go on the Red Carpet, and it was about, like, a fashion chain or a fashion brand that, like, used characters from The Simpsons to promote their products, and, like, on the page that the article turned to, it was, like, a picture of Marge wearing a really nice dress, and a picture of Homer, in, like, gangster glasses, and the camera's flashing at him, wearing, like, a leather jacket, and I found that really funny. I mean, they probably were trying to promote their products, but if they were using fucking characters from The Simpsons, I'm not sure it does that good of a job to promote the product. Now, I mean, there's a lot of good things about characters from The Simpsons, but it kind of makes it seem like the, $600,000 sweaters are promoted towards, like, 12-year-olds who watch The Simpsons, and there's probably many other people who are more than the age of 12 who watch The Simpsons, and who also are in the, $600,000 sweater market, but it seems like a really weird thing to draw the line towards. Like, it could be, I don't know, from really high fashion to some other show that is popular that I cannot recall, because I don't watch a lot of shows, but really just, like, throw a stick and you'll hit a show that is in that demographic that's not fucking The Simpsons. What else is there to talk about? Right, so, recently, actually, I'm not sure if you've seen those ads on YouTube. They're for that, like, pee-pee looking cow product. Like, it's called pee-pee, and it looks unlike anything that I have ever seen before. Like it's a plush toy, kind of, but it's small and has little beady eyes and like a little duck smile, and it's really, really fucking atrociously cute. Like that you'd think that if you were selling a product on YouTube and had a 30-minute long, like, or a 30-second long ad for it, it would be a pretty bad product, but it's actually a really, really atrociously cute product. And it's like $30, and I've seen that, of course, the PP ad, but there's somehow like astonishingly many other ads or like other kind of propaganda stuff for that brand. I think it's called Item Label, but there's a whole bunch of stuff out there that is in some way correlated to PP or the other plush toys called like Dinkle and some other things, and they're all really, really cute. And I've been thinking of getting myself a fish car for myself because that's the one that I kind of like the most, but it's $30. Like, I'm not sure $30 is a good investment for a plush toy that I'll just sit on my desk and look at, but it's really, really cute. And I mean, it probably has a payoff, but it's just $30. I don't know, man. I mean, the fish car is just one of the many. There's also like patches and patch hats and like hats with the patches that you can put the patches on the hat, which kind of entails, patch hatting. But it's a really cool website, and I just wish that they like spoke in, I don't know, sentences that were not cryptic. Like the description for PP is like he's out on parole and wants to come to your house or something. And I know that's probably like in good fun, and I think the people who are behind the website know how to speak English pretty darn well, but they're just like toying with us or something because no one really knows like how the PPs are made or how they're distributed or how anything actually works with that company. But I don't know. I've just been having a good time scrolling through Item Level because I think it's quite a fun website, jolly even. And I don't know. I don't think I'll buy anything from it, but it's fun to just see what kind of things I can blow like $50 on that'll look nice and will probably make me look even more feminine than I already am. Not that I want that, but I don't know. I've been told that I look feminine. I probably do, but I think I'm alright with it so far. I don't know, dog. I also think that eventually I should discuss the large and unruly topic of the PSAT, which I myself and probably a lot of other sophomores and juniors had to take as part of the, I don't know what state organization or national organization required us to take it, but every single one of the people in our grade took it on like the same day, which is actually kind of funny and allows for some pretty good jokes. Like, man, if you were a baby and you were presented with a stimulus of a well-designed face, would you turn your head? You probably would. Like, stuff like that, because every person in the US my age will get that joke because it was on the PSAT, or it was on the reading stimulus. And the test itself was just really, I mean, it wasn't fun. It wasn't like really not fun either. Like, well, the thing is, so there's a room in my school building. I won't name the name of the room. I won't name the number. I won't name the teacher. But there's a room, and it's in one of the wings. It's in like the right wing or something. But you go into it and you're like, wow, there's a whole lot of leftist propaganda in here, and I mean that as in like. It's not like actual like, oh, you should believe in communism. It's not that stuff. It's like stuff that you look at and you're like, man, this kind of makes sense. But it's a little bit left-leaning, and I'm not sure you should have it in a classroom that's for impressionable young teens. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's nice that the teacher has some progressive beliefs, and I feel like, it's valuable, I guess, to think some of the stuff. But like when you're putting a poster that says, if you are not actively like fighting against the oppressor, you are siding with the oppressor. Like, I don't know, man. That seems, or if you're like neutral, you're siding with the oppressor. Like, that seems not particularly great. Like, there's a whole bunch of topics that I don't really know about, and does that mean that I'm siding with the oppressor? I guess it does. And there was a whole lot of signs like that, and it was pretty fun to read them all and think, boy, I hope this teacher knows what she's doing. But, or he, or they, but the test itself, so they sat us down at like 9:30, or not 9:30, that's the time it is right now. They sat us down, we got, at 7:30. We sat down, our jury old asses at 7:30, and the proctor talked to us until 8:25, and then we started the test. But it was a long, grueling 3 hours. There was a reading section, and there was a writing section, which was balls easy, and then there was a math section, which was balls hard, and then another math section, which was neutral. The reading section was like fine, but it just took a really, really long time. And everyone there was just sapped afterwards, and so was I, because I think I like barely even got all the questions done, because each question takes like a bit, and reading all the passages takes a bit, and you only have an hour to complete all of it, and there's quite a bit of questions. I don't know. I am not looking forward to the other PSAT next year and the actual SAT, like a few years from now. But I don't know. And the writing section was actually like manageable because the lines were more spaced out and there was just less text. It was pretty easy stuff to correct because there was like, oh, what's wrong with this passage? There's a comma. There's like 5 commas missing. Oh, we'll just say that there's 5 commas missing, and then you do it. And the math no calculator section was kind of a nightmare because it's just algebra that you learned a few years ago, but you're like too lazy to actually do it, and no one really remembers how to do it. So you just sit there and struggle and like rot away, and it's not great stuff. So I don't think I did that well on that section. But then there was the other math section that actually went marginally well than the other math section because I guess they just wanted us to think less because the problems were like not too different but just not as hard, I guess. Like there was just less tedium to be done and less thinking to be done, and it was generally a good time. But after that we all sat around for like 30 minutes and waited for our proctor to say we could go, and then we could go. And then I had lunch and then went over to a cross country thing. The thing about our lunchroom actually is that the grilled cheeses really, really slap. Like the other meals are fine, I'm guessing, but the grilled cheeses are really fucking outstanding. Like the cheese is melted pretty well. Like I don't think it's even real cheese. It's like some fabricated like radioactive, the thing, but with school cheese. But it's really, really fucking tasty. Like it's too tasty for a school grilled cheese sandwich, and it's just spectacular, especially with chocolate milk at the end. And I don't know, man. I'm a pretty big fan of school lunch. Like I have it every day, and I don't hate myself for it yet, because it's kind of bad for you and bad for your senses and bad for really everything. But I quite like it. So I just think it's delicious. What else did I do last week and or this week? Nothing happened during the week, over the weekend actually, or at least nothing, I don't know, that I should probably mention here because it's like my first time doing this. I felt like really fucking, I mean, maybe not really fucking, but like just in general kind of lonely over the weekend because I had like not a whole lot of people to talk to, and I was just like sitting by myself at home and like doing nothing because I was tired from cross country, so I just couldn't go outside or like do a whole lot of things. And I don't know, it was weird, but I wasn't like super lonely. There were still some people to like send pictures of my forehead to on Snapchat, but I don't know, there's like one person that I text frequently. But yeah, well, I think that like, oh yeah, today there was a test in AP World History, and I don't know how I did on it, and I don't, apparently, so one of the AP World teachers, that I will not say his name because I am not sure I should say things like that on something like this. If you made it this far, I might as well say it, but I still want to say it. But this man, or at least I've heard, so he had his students take the test, and then he graded them with an hour. There was like 30 multiple choice questions and 3 short answer questions, or 3 parts to 1 SAQ. And then he had them graded within an hour, and then he passed them back. And then one of my friends did his corrections before the school day was over, which was pretty cool. But I don't know. I think that might actually be it for this episode of The Opossum Speaks, because that's really all I have been thinking about, and I don't really have a lot else to speak about. But yeah, I'll eventually release this, probably just tonight, on the second YouTube account, or the second whatever account. But yeah, if you made it this far, you're probably like, I don't know, desperate for entertainment, because holy shit, this is a really, really boring ass podcast. But tomorrow I'll have another guest on. His name is myself, and he will talk about some things concerning his life, and it'll be pretty interesting. Or maybe not tomorrow, like next episode of The Opossum Speaks, Season 1, Episode 2, see everyone then, probably. Or maybe there's more to talk about. No, there's not. Okay. Well, I wish I had outro music, but I don't currently. So goodbye.